Monday, May 24th. Welcome to our weekly update. I'm here with Superintendent Bill Burkhead. Before I get into my COVID updates, I would like to start just by congratulating all the candidates in the election this weekend, particularly my select board member, Maura Curran, who was reelected to a new 3-year term. The board will be meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. It's a little early meeting. It is a short meeting. They will be reorganizing for the start of the new election season year. So congratulations to Maura, and let's get all our updates. Last Monday, I talked about how we were off to a confusing week, that the CDC had updated the mask guidance, but the Commonwealth had not. We expected the governor would issue a mask update later on that day. And then to put in a history lesson, like the British band at Yorktown, the world was turned upside down. Last Monday, the governor, we anticipated a relaxation of the mask mandates. And what the governor announced last week is basically a relaxing and releasing of almost all the COVID restrictions that we are currently working under. Starting on May 29th, all industries will be permitted to open. Restrictions will be lifted and capacity will increase to 100% in all industries, including restaurants and bars. Time limits, tables, seating caps, and social distancing requirements in restaurants will be over. The mask mandate will be lifted as of May 29th. Fully vaccinated individuals no longer need to wear a mask indoors or outdoors, except in certain circumstances. Non-vaccinated individuals are advised to continue to wear masks indoors and to social distance, but it is no longer a requirement. Face coverings will still be mandatory for all individuals on public and private transportation settings, ride shares, livery, taxis, ferries, MBTA, commuter rail stations, and airlines. In healthcare settings and in other settings hosting vulnerable populations, such as congregate care settings. Unfortunately for my kids and the kids in the Scituate public schools, masks still will be required in K through 12 schools while indoors, and I think Bill will fill some people in a little more on that. What you do need to know, though, is individual businesses and venues will still be able to set their own mask requirements. So if you are going shopping or you are going to an event, you should have a mask with you just in case that particular business or that particular event is still requiring people to wear masks. So just be prepared for that, despite the governor lifting of the mask mandate at the end of the week. In addition, the governor will lift the state of emergency on June 15th. For us, that may impact our ability to hold remote meetings. They are currently allowed on the emergency order, although the governor and the legislature have said they will try to address that legislatively. It also could have an impact on outdoor dining. Right now, outdoor dining in some circumstances is allowed because of the executive order. That permission will expire 60 days after the end of the executive order on June 15th. Again, the legislature is working to fix that to allow businesses to continue outside dining without having to go through the entire ABCC process. So it looks like the August 1st date for opening of the Commonwealth is now Saturday, May 29th, which means Memorial Day weekend will be open again in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So that's good news, and the numbers we'll talk about later will bear that out. We'll remind people, everybody over the age of 12 is still eligible to get vaccinated. If you're between 12 and 17, you must get the Pfizer shot. The Marshfield Fairgrounds is doing a wonderful job, and you can now get vaccinations without an appointment and just drive up. The state is also opening up the homebound program to people who are now, if you are physically unable to get out and get a vaccine, you can call 833-983-0485 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. and register, and they will have someone come out and give you a vaccine if you are homebound. Since last Monday, our case count was 3, which is down from 10 the previous week. That's a pretty good drop. Our positivity rating over the last 14 days was 1.1, down from 1.49%. And we are in the gray on the state's positivity map, which is the lowest rating we can have. The state's number is now down. The last 7 days was 0.93, down from 1% the previous week. So the numbers are all going in the right direction, and that is why the governor is lifting the mask mandates and things like that. We are urging people to get vaccinated as quickly and as many as possible. Those numbers will continue to get down. The virus is still out there. It's still around. We are getting a handle on it, but if you haven't been vaccinated yet and you're eligible, we do ask that you go out and try to get vaccinated to keep those numbers low. Peggotty Beach parking lot, if you were at Peggotty over the weekend, it was packed. You see we paved part of the parking lot as part of our FEMA project. The plan right now is we will stripe it this week for the Memorial Day holiday. It will be a temporary striping. And then a week from Tuesday on June 1st, we will come in and do the final paving and then restripe the lot. But I was down there on Sunday. It was a little confusing without any striping in the lot, so we will do temporary striping to get the Memorial Day weekend and make sure the parking lot is going to be safe on Memorial Day. The Cole Parkway project is essentially finished. The only thing we're waiting for at this point is new railings for the new overlook next to the gangway. We had to change the dimensions of that slightly, so we had to order new railings. They'll be in mid-June, and then that project will be completely finished. Another project wrapping up is Cedar Point. The contractor is finishing up cleanup. We may add some drainage out there before we are fully wrapped up, but the SOAR project itself is completed. The contractor will be back in the fall, and we'll fully pave Cedar Point, but you will see the majority of the major construction out there is now completed. Water main construction, the water main will be moving from the Bailey Causeway area to Utility Road this week. The reservoir is 1.5 inches plus spilling over. We need to remind residents that we are in water restrictions. All watering must be done between 8 p.m. and 9 a.m. In-ground irrigation is limited to 1 day a week based upon your voting precinct. The average usage of the treatment plant for the last 7 days was 908,000 gallons per day. That's up 300,000 from the previous week and up from 795,000 gallons per day in the same period last year. That increase is almost all attributed to people watering their lawns. It is not too early. It is never too early to conserve water. We're okay right now in our reservoir levels. We haven't had rain in a little bit, but we need to start conserving now, not when that reservoir level gets low. So please, if you're going to water, make sure you do it carefully. Don't waste water and start our conservation efforts early. With the lifting of restrictions, there is no restriction now at our Memorial Day gathering on Monday, May 31st. We will have a ceremony at the high school football field starting at 10 a.m. We'll be dedicating the seat of honor, the MIA seat of honor at the high school football stadium. Rolling Thunder, which is a veterans motorcycle group, will take part. The high school band, I understand, is taking part along with some cheerleaders and the football team. There will be some speeches. Again, the chair will be dedicated. We may also have a flyover. That is unclear at this point, but we are working on getting some sort of flyover for Memorial Day. That will commence at 10 a.m. on the 31st for Memorial Day. And then before I wrap up, most people are aware we did have a tragic event this weekend in the waters off Scituate. A 70-year-old woman died after a tragic boating accident at the mouth of the North River on Saturday. I just want to thank the public safety, Scituate Public Safety, Police, Fire, the Harbor Master, our partner agencies, particularly the Coast Guard, the Mass State Police, the Mass Environmental Police, Plymouth County Dive Team, and everybody else who participated. The conditions were very difficult. It was not an easy time to be out on the river on Saturday. They did a wonderful job. It's unfortunate it was a bad ending, but I want to thank them all. I went down to the command center on Saturday and to watch all those agencies working together seamlessly. We try to find this woman and effect a rescue. Really well done all around. It's just too bad that they couldn't get the happy ending that we were all looking for. So I just want to remind people, boating season, it's going to be busy. A lot of people have bought boats during the pandemic. Driving a boat is not like driving a car. If you have a new boat, if you're new to boating, make sure you take a boating safety class. If possible, have someone to show you how to drive a boat. And when you're in waters that you're not sure of, make sure you're wearing your life jacket, your personal safety flotation devices. Boating safety is important. We are a maritime community. We take it seriously. So please, when you're out on the water, boat safely. So at this point, I will turn it over to Superintendent Burkhead.
Thank you, Mr. Boudreau, and good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Just want to give an update on our COVID information and health and wellness first. We're proud to report that there was only one case last week in the Scituate Public Schools. That's our lowest to date. And the total number of cases for this school year is 227. Each time we notify our community of each positive case. As far as masks, I know Mr. Boudreau had mentioned that masks are no longer required for the governor and the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education for our students outside, which includes recess, outside classes, events outside, and athletics, which has been wonderful. Specific details on graduation, which this will certainly impact, have been sent out to families, and we're excited for that big day on June 4th. Masks are still to be worn indoors in all school buildings, however. A vaccination update. We're excited to have had the opportunity to offer COVID-19 vaccine appointments for our Scituate High School students that ages range from 12 and over. Appointments were made last week from May 20th, 21st, and 22nd at the Marshfield Fairgrounds. I want to give another big Steeler shout out to Mr. Boudreau and our friends over at Marshfield for their assistance once again all year long, collaborating and working with us to get our students and staff vaccinated. So that's been well received. Tonight we have our school committee meeting, and school committee member Mike Long will be beginning his fourth term on the committee after securing a seat at Saturday's election, winning that election. I also want to congratulate Mr. Long for his continued dedication and commitment to the student, staff, and community of Scituate. I'd also like to thank Mr. Richard Taft for running for a seat on the school committee and for his continued passion and persistence on excellence in education for all our students here in Scituate. And on the agenda tonight, because of the election, there's, in this time of year, there'll be a reorganization of the committee as a first agenda item, and a new chair and other positions will be named. We'll have a celebration of student learning, which we do each meeting. This meeting will be the Department of Fine and Performing Arts, so that should be outstanding. The committee will also be reviewing the fiscal year 22 school calendar and specifically discussing the possibility of moving from Columbus Day to Indigenous People Day. I will also be reporting out on some of the great things happening as we wrap up the school year, specifically the end of the year high school celebrations for our seniors as they finished their final full day last Friday. A Steeler shout out, just want to share this from a parent or a community member and parent, Ms. McLaughlin. I have had the privilege of working with the Scituate High School students at the food pantry for the last couple of years. To a person, they have been polite, professional, and dedicated to the task. They have sorted and stored food, harvested fresh vegetables from a local organic farm, wrote letters of thanks to veterans for Veterans Day, and organized and carried heavy boxes of food, all while taking care to socially distance and wear masks. Some have come in once or twice, some have come in often, but all have done a fantastic job in a difficult year, and they have our gratitude and admiration, Ms. McLaughlin. So I just want to end with a positive shout out to all those great kids and all the good things that are happening, even during a pandemic. Thank you, everyone, and have a great week.
Thank you, Superintendent Burkhead. That concludes our update for this week. Thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. I hope to see you at the ceremony at 10 a.m. at the high school stadium. So thank you. Have a good day.